Let's talk about Shadows of the Damned.
Yo! I had no idea what this game was, Scott Taylor.
What?
I knew it was Suda51, and I knew it was Shinji Mikami. This completely passed me by when it originally released in 2010 or 2011 or whatever it was. Even, knowing it's from those two creators, I had no idea what the story is, I had no idea what the context was going to be, and jumping into it, I've had my head blown clean off because this is a game that is unashamedly itself, that is trying to be funny at all times and kind of rarely is, but is charming because of it, is crass,
it knows what it is
obscene, is a kind of throwback to almost Planet Terror-esque exploitation homage. It is very indebted to the time. It has been very dated in a lot of ways, both in terms of gameplay and its story. But I cannot deny that I am having fun with it, Scott Taylor.
Yeah.
There is a mission in this game to set the tone before I even establish what the story is, where your character has a gun that is already called Boner. So he gets his Boner and it transforms into a thing called a Big Boner, which he then puts between his legs and handles as if it's his crotch, and then his Big Boner is... It's like a turret sequence where you point this cannon at these monsters that are coming down different alleyways, and every time you press the trigger, he goes boom, and he goes, he goes, that's my big boner. He does that over
2024, to be honest, coming after the double chocolate chip cookie and the other booms that are doing the round. I feel like everyone's just discovered the word boom in the last 2 months. Hey, what if we just said boom over and over again? But obviously this predates by a decade and a half. Excuse me, I did play Shadows of the Damned back when it first came out. I didn't last very long in it. I didn't rate it too highly. I feel like when it came out, it was right in that nadir of third-person over-shoulder cover shooters. And I know it's not a cover shooter, but it is that style of gameplay. And it is kind of indebted to like a Resident Evil 4 or something.
Yeah, man.
But it definitely was always the sense of humor, the art style, the voice acting, like the main dude Gotsi Hotspur, and his the gun being called Boner, and like the gun is also your bike. And it's very it's almost like if you took the darkness and just sort of like, not the band, but the game, and just injected it full of sort of like late 2000s tood.
Literally, that is exactly that, 100%. I mean,
get your
the entire, I wasn't expecting it to be this kind of crass and over the top. I mean, I knew it was going to be over the top just from who it came from, but like it goes hard and in ways that I didn't think games went in.
The boner goes
era.
hard.
The boner goes hard. Very nice. But I mean, this is a game that starts, you're a demon hunter, like you said, called Garcia, and the demons have taken your wife and they've killed her, they've taken her to hell, so you go to hell to chase after her, and despite your wife being absolutely like destroyed in the opening sequence by these demons, you're chasing her around, like the vision of her in her lingerie. She's like got no clothes on. You're chasing her around. You're making these boner jokes. You look. There's a bit where you go through a portal, which is a billboard of a woman in her undergarments, and you go through. The portal opens in her butt, you know what I mean? You go through there, you come out the other side, and listen, I don't...
The thing that's great is that back in the day, yes, this was talked about as like an over-the-top game, but nowhere near as much as it is retrospectively.
Yeah.
This was just a game.
I know, that's just a game, and I'm not going to lie, some of it is hard to stomach in... The year of our Lord 2024.
It's a good time.
Some of it is so just look, man. Like some of it is just so vulgar that like you can't take it seriously.
No,
you're
not supposed to be.
You're not supposed to. But it's just like it's just so over the top. It's so like you're doing this now, are you? That it's like it's funny to laugh with and laugh at. Again, some of it I don't love. I can't stomach some of it, especially. Well, I won't get into it too much because of spoilers or whatever, but it's an interesting artifact, put it that way, and I'm wanting to play more of it, and I guess I will talk about how the game actually plays because, like you said, it is indebted to Resident Evil 4. It's the same over-the-shoulder kind of aiming. You have a laser that is very similar to Resi 4 in its aiming style. You can move and shoot at the same time, which you can't in Resi 4. You can reload and move at the same time. It's overall a faster paced game, but it does still kind of want you in a way to stand still and aim and pick your shots and shoot. I think the aiming is a little bit too floaty for what it is.
It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, it doesn't
anymore.
feel amazing. Sometimes it can, like headshots feel really good. You get like a slow motion zoom in where the head of the demons start to explode. I like what it does with light and shadow. It's kind of Alan Wake-esque in that if the demons are in shadow, you have to light them up either with R1 or you have to find a light source to illuminate the entire area so you can start doing damage and stuff. That adds a nice little wrinkle. And there are those gimmick levels, like I mentioned, where you use your big boner to take out these giant demons.
I'm definitely gonna find one of the mentions of the big boner and put some sort of filter on your voice. If I think on, I'll do it with every single one of them. Probably not.
Yeah, do that, please.
That might be the name of the podcast, to be honest.
This episode just called, as the level is, the big boner. So you've got levels like that. You've got a cool level that comes directly after it where it transforms into a, spitting all over the table, it's turning me into just a complete caveman.
You're a character in this game, yeah.
I am. It transforms into a 2D side-scroller shoot-'em-up, which is, it's
Give me more of that.
It's kind of a crap level, but it's fun, and I like that it's in there, and I think that's how I would describe the entire game. It's schlocky, it's kind of crap, but I can't deny that it's sort of unlike anything else and that it constantly throws me enough surprises to the point where I'm not getting bored. Some of the bosses are too repetitive, some of the combat encounters are too repetitive. I can see why this isn't like a complete smash hit and it is more of a cult favorite. I think it's cool that it's been remastered. I think it's 25 quid. Obviously, like I said, we got a code for it, so I've been playing it by that way. But yeah, this is, if you haven't played it, it is, oh God, I couldn't imagine playing this with friends and just getting having a laugh at what is coming next in the story must be crazy. I'm so pleased, Scott, because back when this came out in 2010, 2011, I'd have still been living with my parents, right? And I'm so pleased I didn't play this at the time, because if I came in, if I was playing this game and my parents came in my room and I was playing as this Garcia guy who is in a dream sequence where he's walking over this woman's lingerie-clad butt, I'd be like, I can't explain this, ma'am. I cannot explain this.
The thing is, it's it comes from an era that is alongside a Lollipop Chainsaw or No More Heroes, which obviously some of the same creators and stuff. The thing I was sure, I just googled to make sure of this. Shadows of the Dam is already on backwards compatible.
Right.
I would just say if you have a 360, a series console, anything with a disc tray, I would say just play the backwards compat version, because I'm pretty sure the auto upscale will take care of the frame rate anyway. I personally don't think, because it's not like they changed, it's not like they refined the aiming or the movement. I still find it to be quite clunky in the modern day. For me, when I played it, the new version, I still thought it really did feel like the best qualities in it are the writing and the world design, the characters, the over the top nature of it. But I didn't think that it played anywhere near as up there with. If the bar is so high because of those other elements, the combat is the weakest thing. It doesn't play as snappily as it's written or whatever. So to me, I would just say play the backwards compat version and save yourself £25 or whatever.
Interesting.
If it was way snappier, I think I'd be way more into it. If you play more like a Vanquish, I'd be super into it.
It's all on the same level for me, because like I say, I don't really rate the writing. It is absurd, but I don't think the jokes are good, if that makes sense.
That's not what I'm saying. I just mean a level of confidence to it. There's a speed to it. There's a pace to the delivery. There's a pace to the way that it's shot. It's so snappy and stylish. Yeah. And then when you play it, it's an arbitrary overshot. It plays like Resident Evil 4 from 10 years prior. Or 7 years prior.
I would slightly disagree, just because I am finding enough in the combat. I don't think it's the best combat system you'll ever play, but like I said, I think it's satisfying enough, especially when you get different weapons that do more damage and kind of because you can evolve the guns as they go on, like the big boner, and then you can do more outlandish things with them. So it kind of reminds me in a good way of something like Wanted Dead, where there's nothing else really like it, and the gameplay isn't all that amazing, but it's good enough. So I haven't played the original, like I said, and maybe it is fine to just go back to.
They're nigh on the same thing.
I think
really.
The only main issue technically that I have with the remaster, because it is more of it's kind of like the Lollipop Chainsaw one, right? It's more of a port, a lavish port than it is a full-on remaster or a full-on remake, which is fine. But frame rate I've had inconsistencies with. Sometimes it's been pitch perfect, other times it's just absolutely chugged. There is a level early on where I thought, oh no, if it's going to be like this for the entire thing, I might not even be able to play the game. It is that bad. Thankfully, it wasn't. It was a little bit of a blip, but it keeps popping up now and again, and I don't even know what's causing it, because I can have a huge set piece with loads of enemies and it runs fine, and then I can go into like the darkness with 2 enemies and it completely chugs. So that definitely needs fixing, and I would definitely shout that out if you are thinking for whatever reason of running to buy this. Maybe wait for a patch. But otherwise, it is just kind of a basic port / remaster, and that's fine enough. But yeah, like you said, if you already own the game, you might not be missing too much. But if you haven't played it, and you don't have an Xbox, I guess, then yeah, it's like 25 quid is probably the right price for it, or $25, should I say.
It's on Switch as well, so like the remaster. I did just Google the frame rate differences. The original is capped at 30, so the new one is 4K 60. So it is, if you want a smoother experience, it is worth it for that.